welcome to our YouTube channel. This is Broken Yet Strong official YouTube channel. My name is Enebong Blessing, and we'll be sharing very inspiring content here, from person stories to personal experiences to person's questions that have been sent, so we can address them. In case you are new here or just getting to know about Broken Yet Strong is a ministry that is reaching out to the sexually abused, single mothers, those from broken homes, those that have gone through terrible past, bringing them the message of hope and healing on the wings of the Holy Spirit. And this is officially our first video, and please do all to subscribe to our channel so that you'll be notified when new content are dropping. Okay, today we're going to be talking about defining that. We're going to be talking about the past, whether you let it define you or you define the past. So I'll be using more of my personal experiences to talk to us about it. Now, about 8 years ago, when I got to know about my pregnancy, it wasn't funny because I was feeling scared about what persons are going to be saying that, oh, didn't you know your mom is a single mother and then you went ahead to get pregnant, things like that. So I had a lot of fears, but I thank God for how far He has brought us and where He's taking us to. Now, since we are discussing about your past, that are you going to let it define you or define the past? Now, at that period when I was pregnant, I had lots of single mothers living around my street. Some of them, immediately they get pregnant, they will just do introduction and they will start cohabiting with the guy and start giving birth to more children. But I didn't want that for my life. I remember then my son's father's family were even talking about us getting married. I told them I don't want to get married, that I want to still go back to school and further my education. As I then jammed me twice, but I still had to wait jammed me twice actually. I still had to wait 2 extra years before I finally got into the university. I remember that period I used Genevieve Energy as my role model because Genevieve was a single mother. That's a single mother rather. So I had to use her to learn. Because I had seen a level of success at that point in time, and I felt like there was so much more, despite the fact that she gave birth at a teenage age, which at that time I was a teenager also, but she was still able to go against all odds, not looking like what her past was, but rather she became a very successful woman. I decided to use her to learn. But the first person for you to define, either you let your past define you or you define the past. For you to define the past, the first factor you need is the God factor. I remember then I always knew there was something more to my life. Even then, most persons were not seeing it. I had to bring out the God factor, and I had to sustain my relationship with Christ. In case you are still feeling condemned, trust me, the best person to help you is still God. If you are feeling so condemned that you are running away from God, you are running away from the one person that would help you. And I had to go back to Him to plead for mercy for me to start all over. The God factor has always been my sustaining factor and would always be. So the first thing you need is the God factor. Now, after you build your relationship with God, for as many as those that are listening right now and they don't know who this God is, have not built relationship with God, it's better you give your life to Christ and start all over, because that's the one person you need. The number one person. Of course, you still need the gift of many, but that is the number one person you need. Then after the God factor, we still have to talk about you. Are you going to still keep wallowing in tears? I remember in my 100 level, I cried more than I laughed because I was feeling so rejected. I was feeling so not me, even despite the fact I went back to school. It was more like, of course, I went back to school, so she was energized, so she definitely going to have it all sorted out. That was the lie. I was still living in my past. I was still feeling nothing good can come out of me. So I had to start making quality relationships. I remember in my 100 level, I had 2 carryovers, and 200 level, that's why your association matters a lot. I read in a book by Bishop David Oyedepo. He said, if you are in a company of depressed people and you continually dwell with them, just a matter of time, you'll always be depressed. If you want to be successful, move with those that will energize you, those that will challenge you. In my 200 level, I started working with more of the first class students, the two second class upper students, and I cleared my 2 carryovers, and at 200 level I crossed the 4 points because I started minding my association. But remember, God factor, are you going to sit down or you are going to move? And if you have chosen to move, your association also matters. I'm not saying there are not going to be flashbacks, but like I always say, until it no longer hurts, you have not overcome the past. If you think about the past and you are still hurting, you have not overcome it. Do I still remember something that happened in the past? I do, but I'm excited because I don't feel pained anymore. I've gone past that stage. While I was in school, I had this notion like I want to be successful, and I'm not doing that because I want to do pepper them gang. No, the reason why I was craving so much for that is because I want to go back to reach out to those ladies that feels that nothing good can come out of them because they had a child out of wedlock, because they already have children, or because they are pregnant. No, I want to be so successful so that someone else will look up to me and say, because of you, I didn't give up. Because of you, I want to be more successful. It wasn't easy. I had to study. Initially, prior to that time, I always patterned my life to be this way. I saw myself as, let's just go to school, get good grades, because I've always been getting good grades in school. Get good grades, graduate, get married, have children, get a good job. That was just the way my life was. I didn't even know what they call poor, let alone pose. So it was more like my life was one pattern. But now I knew there was something more. There was definitely something more, and I wanted to get there. Not for myself alone, apart from the fact that I want the light of Christ to shine through me and in me to others. I also want to be so successful so that persons can look up to me and not give up. I kept on studying. I did online courses. I paid for courses. I attended seminars. And I'm not just doing it just to add qualifications, but I'm also applying what I've been taught. I had to go into business and all of that. So part of the things you should do, like I said, number 1 is the God factor. Number 2 is you. You can determine what wants to come out of you. You can determine if you want to live in the past. You can determine if you want to go out of the past. You can also choose that. And in as much as you are confessing that you will be successful, please believe it in your heart. Scripture said in Psalm, it said, let the words of my heart and let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable unto you. That means there is a stage you come to the thoughts of your heart and what you speak will collide together and they will bring out something. But if you are thinking failure in your heart and you are speaking success, you are just not it. It's not just it, rather. So in as much as you're thinking of being a success, it's important for you to speak and walk. And walk also, there's a part of you sacrificing. There's a part of you doing things, working, the studies, the sleepless nights, the planning. You still have to do that. So it's still part of dealing with the past experiences. Now I'm going to be speaking to those that are still here and saying, see, you don't understand how terrible my past is. Please, excuse me. How terrible will your past be? Or how terrible is your past? And you are watching, you are alive. See, I never give up on a man that is alive. And Christ never gives up on a man that is alive, because as long as you have breath, there is still hope. So it's very excruciating, the pain, the whole thing that is happening to you. But you can choose if you want to live in that same experiences, or you want to outgrow it. Now, I had to look for somebody in my niche and had to crave. I didn't want to be her. I just used that as someone that I'm looking up to. Please, there's a difference between looking up to someone and wanting to be that person. You cannot be somebody. You can only look up to somebody. You can learn something from the person. But you saying, I want to be Genevieve. No, there is only one Genevieve Inaji. And there is only one you. You are unique on your own. But you can use her as a template. You can use someone as a template. In case you have been sexually assaulted, there is Joyce Meyers. Joyce Meyers was sexually assaulted by a family member. But here is Joyce Meyer, a global voice. Priscilla Shira is also there. You can learn from her. So there are other persons that has gone through whatever you have gone through, and they are global phenomenon. They are making waves. They are breaking all obstacles. So what's your excuse? That's the question. What's your excuse? In case you are still crying and saying, you don't really get. Trust me, I may not exactly get what's going on with you, but God knows what's going on with you, and He's here to help you. He's here to take that weight off your shoulder. But if only you can allow Him do it, and if only you can still believe that something good can come out of you. Yes, something good can come out of you. You watching, something good can come out of you. God used my life, even despite writing jam 5 times. God still brought something tangible out of my life. Even when persons told me that blessing is a failure, some called me prostitute and all of that, God still brought something good out of my life. Did I tell you that I had a very smooth journey? No, but I had God all the way. And I still had a vision. I still had something I want to get to. I still had a goal I want to achieve. And I'm still working towards them. Some of them have been achieved, because as you achieve one goal, you will still make another one. That's how it goes. Then I will ask again, your past experiences, do you want it to define you, or you want to define it? I'm sure that answer will be more of, you want to define your past. You don't want to look like your past. You want to look like the glorious future God has for you. And it's achievable. It's really achievable. I hope today's video has blessed you. Please do well to comment and do well to share with friends. We'll still be having amazing content as time goes on. Please do well to subscribe to our channel so that you'll be notified when videos drop in. It's such a lovely time. I really enjoyed myself here. I hope to see you next time. Bye.